Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Off the Script podcast. We are here today with a special guest. If you'd like to introduce yourself, my friend.
Simon Brooker. How you doing?
I'm on, man. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
Good. Had a good friend of yours on a couple of weeks back, Mr. Louis Moylan, and he recommended that we get you on for some insights into being a PT and getting in the inner circle of going for that IFBB Pro Card in the future, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So we recommended, let's get you on. Let's get another King's Gym member on, and go from there, really.
Yeah.
But so tell everyone a little bit about yourself, how it all started, and
so basically, it all started. I never really had an interest in competing, but I've trained since I was like 16, on and off since I was 16. But basically, a friend of mine was saying to me, well, a lot of people have said to me, "Yo, you should compete. You should compete." And a friend of mine actually took a picture of me. He said, "I know this bodybuilding judge, and send him your picture and see what he says." Sent the picture to him, and this was this quite known IFBB judge, and the guy was like, "Yeah, like he looks really good. Tell him to come and see me, and I'll steer him in the right direction." And that was a cool night. So
Crayford.
Yeah. So he steered me in the right direction. He told me that, I got the potential. So I thought I might as well give it a try. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't get any, I couldn't be told by anybody else, that I would have listened to more. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's a judge. He's a judge, so he knows it. Yeah, he knows what he's looking for. So, I just dived in head first. And that was in 2017 I started. So.
Okay, so you're only like 2.5 years in.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so basically I done my first show, no off season, no nothing, just straight in to do my first show, which was the Kent Classic in 2017, and I won. Do you know what I mean? I went into the
easy going, first show, first win.
I went to intermediates and I won that, and then obviously I qualified for the British. Done the British, I came third. It's a bit controversial. I mean, everyone has to look at the pictures and judge for themselves. But I came third in the British Championships, first time I ever entered. So I can't really complain, to be honest with you.
And that was in the intermediates at the British as well?
Yeah, intermediates, yeah.
Okay, it's not bad for a first run then, yeah?
Nah, not bad at all.
So straight from the get-go, you knew you had potential. You've been told by a very influential, valid opinion that, you probably got what it takes.
Yeah.
Training-wise, how did you link up with James and Louie and everyone at King's?
So this is the thing. Before I had done that show, I had met James previously in King's. I went to King's one day and there was this guy in there and he had on a hoodie and he was stood behind the desk, and I walked in, and bearing in mind I'd never been in that gym before. Atmosphere is like no other in this country. That gym is crazy. The atmosphere is just the best atmosphere ever. I walk in and there's this big guy behind the counter and he said to me, "You ready for war?" And I looked at him, I was with my mate, and I was like, "What's he talking about?" I was like, yeah. I thought this guy is mad. So anyway, I started training, and then at the end of the session, he came up to me and he asked me basically, "So where do you train?" And at the time, I wasn't really doing anything. Do you know what I mean? Serious. I was training or whatever. Yeah. And I told him, and he was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yo, you got potential." He said,
if you dedicate yourself, you can go far.
Yeah, another guy told me I got potential. Now, the way we ended up training together was a few years after that.
Okay.
So basically I'd done the Amateur Olympia in 2000 and it was about a year. Yeah, it was 2018 I'd done the Amateur Olympia. Wasn't really happy with my showing, to be quite honest with you. That wasn't my best package. But after the show, I was staying with my son, which he lives up in near Gloucester. I was
Okay.
staying with my son, and obviously me and James were friends from back when I met him then, and I saw on his Instagram story that he was just round the corner from me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Jordan's birthday party.
Right. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
So Jordan had a birthday party, and I was like, "Yo, you're round the corner from me," and he was like, "Come down, bro."
Yeah.
So went down to the gym. I can't remember what the name of the gym was. It will come back to me soon. But went down there and we started training. And James was like, "Yo, listen, I haven't got a training partner. You haven't got a training partner. Let's do this. Let's do this together." And from that day, like, we just went balls to the wall, man. Like, we went balls to the wall for a good year or so. Do you know what I mean? Made some crazy gains, and I really enjoyed it. But obviously he parted ways and got other things to do. So yeah, I carried on training with Louie. Yeah, because he brung Louie in. That's the thing. He brung Louie. So basically, we was training before, and he was like, "Listen, I want you to meet my mate. My mate's gonna start training with us." And then that's when he brung in Louie, and me and Louie just clicked like that.
Right, you were like,
blind,
like Louis the locksmith. That's what we call him now. So.
Yeah, man, he's a top guy, man. Seriously,
he is his sound.
Yeah,
it's like we'd only spoken a couple of times before we had him on.
Yeah,
and after that, it was just getting backwards and forwards. We're going to get him on again.
Yeah.
So depending on how, well, not even depending really. If you're happy to come back on, we can maybe get you, Louie, maybe James on as well.
Definitely.
At some point in the future.
Yeah, I'm on that.
It'll be a laugh.
Louie is a great guy, man. Seriously. So yeah, we just started all training together. James obviously had some shows to do, so he had to separate a bit, which is understandable. And me and Louie just carried on training. Do you know what I mean? And honestly, I couldn't think of a better training partner than James and Louie. Seriously, like, when we train, it's like, you know that there's that trust there.
Yeah.
So for me, I wouldn't really want to jump under a bar with like 6 or 7 plates on there and squat if I haven't got someone behind me that I don't trust. If I've got someone behind me that I don't trust, then I'm not going to do it. So that's the good thing about me training with them, is that they have my full trust. Do you know what I mean? I trust them completely, and I think that's a major thing to have a training partner that you.
100%. It's because I've had we'll get to your health issues in a little while, but the same was for me. So I had to take some time off last year because I got sick, and then I changed gym. So I was just training around. Trained at the New Temple gym in Birmingham, because that's where I am.
Yeah,
I was training them back and forth because it's 24-hour gym. So I was there, just everywhere really, testing out different gyms. And then we went to Ultimate Fitness in Birmingham. A few of me and my friends, and they all, you know, as they do, you know, they come about 5 times, and then they slowly start winding them up, and then they don't go with you anymore. And then Jermaine, my co-host, who's not here today, me and him met because he was about 12 weeks out from his first show as a junior. With I think it was the BMBF, which is the Natty Fed, one of the Natty Feds, and he was 12 weeks out. I'd never seen him before, never spoke to him before, and he was in because they got a posing studio on the roof.
Yeah.
And so even though I might not have the most experience competing, because I've never competed or anything myself as of now, I think I have a good eye for people's physiques and where they need to improve. Same goes because I helped a little bit with some alterations too. The guy called Tim Jones, he came 3rd at the PCA at the British. I think he was in the short class, in the heavyweights. Or the light heavies, one of them. And he just needed some help with his posing because he's a short guy, he's about 5'7".
Yeah.
And so he's quite tight in the shoulders, but he's fucking dense as shit, round and everything. And I was like, try putting your leg out here a little bit and all that. So then I did this for Jermaine, and then about 6 weeks after, I committed and got the membership at the gym.
Yeah.
And now he's 6 weeks out from his show, so I see him on the stairs every morning. I'm like, let me talk to this guy, let me see what he's about. And then we've got got to talking and got to training with each other, and just clicked from there really. Then I met his friends, and then pretty much for the last, until this shitty lockdown, there was about 5 of us in this like circle, and we'd all train together. Even if we didn't train with one of them, there'd be someone there that you can trust and let you know.
Sick,
so it's nice. But a few of those guys are left because a lot of them are there for uni and that.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 guys from Sheffield and Hull. One guy down in London, so he's gone back there for now. But everyone will be back, you know, when term time starts again. So should be good.
Yeah, I mean, when you got guys that you can trust, anything's possible.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Those kind of people are few and far between. So this is how much, of respect and how much I love training with those guys. Do you know how far I travel?
No. No idea. Tell everyone.
Check this out. No word of a lie, yeah? I train with them every single day, for a year back then, yeah? I travel 150 miles every day to train.
Fuck me. Is that there and back? 75 there, 75 back?
Yep.
Whereabouts are you then?
So, like, I'm near Watford.
Oh, okay.
So I've got to travel all the way from up here, down to there. And then it's fine. The traveling there is not bad because obviously it's in the daytime, but we might not finish until, say, 4 or 5 o'clock. And then now I'll be stuck in traffic. Yeah, I've had some bad times. Like one time I drove back and I got a flat tire and I was stuck on the M25 from, let's say, 5 o'clock until midnight waiting on AA. It was a joke.
I bet you went back the next day though.
Yeah.
Of course. The gym has this fucking magnetic effect.
Definitely does.
And once you're in there, everything else seems to get pushed away.
Yeah, it does.
For that hour and a half that you're in there.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah. It's very different, but it completes us, I guess. So
exactly, yeah.
But so you was training with James and Louie. Obviously, James went and trained at Muscleworks for a little while.
Yeah.
With Luke, rest in peace. And then it comes to you had a double operation on your hernias, right?
Yeah, so I had a hernia. Basically, I had an umbilical one and an epigastric hernia is the other one. So one right in the middle of my stomach, and one for my belly button. And whilst we was training and that, I was in 2 minds. I wanted to compete, but James and Louie was like, listen, just get that fixed first. Because you don't want to go on stage and be the best one on stage, and there's another guy who's just as good as you. Now, if the judges, they say that they don't mark you down for having a hernia or something like that, but think about it, it's common sense, yeah? If you got 2 guys that are the 2 best on stage, they're both as equally as good as each other, who are you going to choose, the guy with the hernia or the guy without it? Exactly. You're going to choose the guy without the hernia. So I got it addressed. I was having a few issues with it because I had 2 surgeons, that I could have went to. So one was talking about cutting me right here and then putting in a small bit of mesh on top of that one, and then cutting me by the belly button and putting a bit of mesh on, a small bit of mesh covering that one.
Yeah.
So it was like, he was saying it would only be a small scar, but I don't really want 2 scars right in the center of my stomach. Do you know what I mean? So I got a second opinion, and this guy was actually a specialist.
Okay.
And he said to me, look, that way what he's telling you is primitive. He told me all to do is a keyhole surgery through here and get one big sheet of mesh to cover the whole of my abdomen, as opposed to 2 small ones. Yeah. They're not as stable. So we get a whole sheet and cover my entire abdomen. And then there's only like 2 scars on the side of my stomach there. So it was a no-brainer, really. It was a no-brainer. I went with him. The operation wasn't very long at all. But he was in and out, not sure. Could have been an hour or so, not too sure. But honestly, that is the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life, ever.
Was it just local anaesthetic as well? Or just when you were...
No, they put me out. They put me out. When I woke up, first thing I done was lift up my gown. I was out of my head completely because of all the drugs that they had me on. I lifted up my gown and I looked, and the hernias were gone, and I couldn't see any scars because I didn't look to the side, so I couldn't see any scars. I was like, "What the hell?"
Magic.
But honestly, for about a week or 10 days after that operation, it's the worst pain I've ever had in my entire life. I couldn't lie down because if I lay down on my bed, I won't be able to get back up. Okay. So I had to sleep upright in the sofa for a week. If I needed to go to the toilet, I'd have to call my family to help me pull me out of the chair and use the toilet. It was terrible. All the medication that they was giving me was doing absolutely nothing. Like nothing. But in the end I got over it. And
how long post-surgery are we now?
So surgery, I got the surgery on the 25th of January.
Okay.
25th of January is when I got the surgery. I mean, after like 4 weeks, I went back to see him, 3 or 4 weeks, and he said, like, it's really well. He said, if you want, you can go back to the gym now and just do some light stuff. And do you know what I mean? But I was like, I know what I'm like. I'm not going to go in there and lift up flipping 5 key dumbbells. Yeah. So I just said, you know what? I'm just going to just relax. Do you know what I mean? Take the time off and recover. So let's say, I can't remember the exact time. It might have been 12 weeks or so post-surgery. I decided I'm going to go back. So I went to Crayford Weights. Nice gym. That's Paul's gym.
Paul's gym, yeah.
Yeah, and that's normally where I do my PTing from. I don't PT from Kings, really. I normally do my PTing from Crayford. And because it's got all the machines and that, I was like, cool, I'm going to do a little bit there. And then done 1 or 2 sessions, and then lockdown. Back to square one.
One of them, isn't it? Similar to me, because I had I had the break before the start of last year, and then I got sick and went anemic and was in hospital myself like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they said if I hadn't have gone in, I was probably like 3 days away from that's it. And as the listeners already know, they had enough of me talking about it now. But so I was in there. But prior to that, I'd only had, I think it was 6 weeks back in the gym.
Yeah.
Prior to having, about 3 months off again.
Yeah.
So in the past 2 years, I've only trained for like 4 months. And it's annoying.
Yeah.
But
it is.
Fingers crossed, we've got it under control now. Same goes for you. So when everything gets back to normal, it's going to be like elevated 100%. To a new level.
100%. I mean, I got some equipment anyway, but it's not the same. I mean, I got like...
It's the environment as well.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I got a few things. I got like Olympic bar, power rack. I got cable pulley system, some dumbbells, EZ bar. So I'm not doing too bad. I'm just here, and I think, to be quite honest with you, this couldn't have come at a better time for me, in the sense of that I felt like everyone was just running past me because I wasn't able to train due to the hernia. But then everything slowed down, so it's given me a bit of time to catch up now.
It put everyone back on an even playing field, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, there's privileged individuals who've still got access to a gym and stuff like that, but that's few and far between. So
exactly. Yeah,
but
I got offered to train at someone's gym recently, so I'm probably going to be in the gym within the next week. So. Do you know what I mean? But again, I don't think it's going to be too much longer before everything opens back up.
No, I don't think so. Obviously, you're probably going to have rules in place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if they're open, I'm happier anyway, so...
Exactly.
You can't go wrong.
Exactly. I'm good either way, because at the end of the day, I can still do a few things. Yeah. So...
I think the one thing it's made me realise is that you can do so much with so little.
Exactly.
It brings you back to basics. What you got? You got a bar, you got a couple of dumbbells. And, you don't need to be fucking about on a hammer machine.
Yeah.
After one after the other.
I'll be honest with you. Like, to be quite honest with you, when it comes to this kind of training with just the basics, I'm so used to that. So it doesn't make any difference to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, with all the hammer strength equipment and that, that's just icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to have. It's nice to have it there. But sometimes, you know, you do the basics for a while and then you get, oh, let's do this, let's change that for that.
Yeah.
And then you never really go back to the basics.
Exactly. But
Louis, once it's over, Louis invited me and Jermaine down for a session at King's.
Yeah, you'll love it, man.
And because we'd never been before, I was planning to go because we was going to go to Ultraflex in Rotherham before, back in January, and then we was coming to King's, and then we're heading somewhere else as well. Can't remember where it was now. But yeah, obviously this happened, put everything on hold.
Yeah.
So I was talking to James, and I was like, "What's probably the best body part to train at King's?" And he said, "Well, it depends because the environment's better than the kit."
Yeah, it is.
But the kit's good enough. So I was like, legs it is then.
Yeah, perfect way to explain it. The environment's better than the kit, but then the kit, it just doesn't really matter when you're in there. Do you know what I mean? Because the atmosphere is so crazy, so good in there. And then, again, the kit, you can do whatever you need to do anyway. So it's not too fancy. It's just right. For me,
it's certainly not hindered your or James or anyone's progress.
Exactly. So. And that's the thing as well. You know, like when you're in the gym and you've got goals and you're trying to achieve something, it's always nice to be able to look over across the room and see something to aspire to or something that gets you motivated.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's King's. That's King's. Like, people lifting heavy, they're not messing around.
The same goes for Ultimate, but a lot of the guys at Ultimate are either coming to the point of retirement, or they've retired a few years ago. It's like, I don't know if you're familiar with like Dean Lasiak and Tony Bailey. It's like all British champions.
Yeah.
Who else? PCA Pro, Randeep as well.
Yeah.
He trains there. So there's a good few guys, and they get a lot of traction from. There's Jamie DeRigo.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, he's been down a few times before he moves out to Dubai and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that gym. That gym looks sick, man.
Which one?
Ultraflex.
Oh yeah. The I train at Ultimate in Birmingham.
Okay.
But Ultraflex, Kuba's one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good because Jermaine's from Sheffield, so when he's not at uni, that's where he trains.
Okay, I thought you were talking about that one. Yeah, that one is. Yeah.
And so it was like, yeah, man, it's pretty damn good. He's only got 1 year left of uni as well. So if he does move back to Sheffield, he said there's only one place he's going to be training.
Yeah.
But so you're a personal trainer, and how did you get into all that?
So obviously I just enjoy the gym, and I mean, it's my main source of income, to be quite honest with you. I enjoy training people, but to be quite honest, I'm not one of those people. I don't like to train people that don't want to train.
Yeah.
I like to have clients that have a goal and they're willing to put in the work. So I won't just take on anyone. Do you know what I mean? Because you have to.
We've got a question on that as well.
Yeah.
So let me link it in actually.
Yeah.
So, right. So your opinions, there we go. Your opinions on personal trainers in mainstream gyms that routinely change up routine to keep the clients interested.
Yeah.
Because you see them doing all this bandage shit, and the person's just in there trying to lose weight. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, for me, I'm the complete opposite. I can't just write our program for you just for the sake of keeping you occupied. I mean, if you have a specific goal, we need to do everything to achieve that. So I'm not just going to just change things just to keep you happy if it's going to slow down your progress. Do you know what I mean? Where a lot of these guys, I see them training people, and it's just like, that is doing absolutely nothing, and you're just taking money from people for no reason, and that's not a bit. I'm an honest kind of person, so like, I'll just tell you straight, that's not doing Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, the industry is absolutely saturated with personal trainers now, and 90% of them don't have a clue as to what they're doing. It's not hard. You know, when you go for your qualification, like the instructor wants you to pass no matter what. Do you know what I mean? Because it makes them look good. So I've seen it where they've almost basically given the guy the answer. Now, once that guy gets that piece of paper, he's now eligible to go out and train anybody and do whatever he wants when he doesn't have a clue.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Just because you've got a certificate, you know, it doesn't mean you know everything.
It doesn't mean anything.
And it's wrong. I think it is wrong because there's a lot of knowledgeable people out there who might not be social media savvy or anything like that, but they can't put themselves out there in a marketable way. So all that knowledge just gets lost.
Exactly.
And then you got some random twat who's just got his level 3 and is taking he's got middle-aged women as clients, you know, saying you're gonna lose weight and all this in 6 weeks, and it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, just talking.
And you see it all the time. Yeah. I just think it's fucking disgraceful, to be honest.
It is. It's an absolute joke.
But do you specialise in anything as a PT or?
Yeah, so just body composition really. That's the main thing, is body composition. So fat loss, muscle gain. So, I mean, obviously fitness as well. We're going to increase your fitness as well. But the main thing is body composition. Because, I mean, when you go to the gym and that, a lot of people want to get in shape.
Yep. So,
but I specialize in that. But again, it has to be with someone who's actually willing to do the work.
Driven to actually do it themselves.
Yeah.
You can't be holding someone's hand all the way through. You know, if they want it, they can get it. So.
Exactly. And it's like, I can't stand people that want to swerve some of the important exercises just because it's hard. At the end of the day, it needs to be hard in order for your body to adapt. So,
yeah, that's it. I remember when I was training at a previous gym, there was one good personal trainer out of about 15 in there. And it took him about 6 weeks to get this woman to be able to squat with a barbell squat properly, because she had poor ankle mobility. So they were there for like 4 weeks, like 3 times a week, just stretching, doing mobility work. And the last time I saw him, she had 2 plates on the bar because he taught her how to do it properly.
Exactly.
It might take a while, but then the build-up's slow, but when you get there, then you're ready to go. Exactly. Whereas everyone else, they're doing all this fancy shit and they just stay there and they don't do anything.
Exactly.
And they're just burning a hole in their pocket.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, I like people like that. She sounds like the perfect client. Someone who's determined and willing to do what it takes. You know what I mean?
They don't mess about either. So
yeah, that's my thing. I don't really mess about. Yeah. So I don't know. That might scare some people. Do you know what I mean? Some people want an easy ride, but the way that I see it, why are you wasting money just for an easy ride and you're not getting any results? Don't really make no sense.
I don't know whether it's because they want to be a part of something, so they're like, I'm on board with this person, I train here. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the same with like online coaching as well.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I know a lot of people like to jazz up their diet a bit, but the main thing is like your macros and getting them right. And
100%.
Yeah, and for me, like I've had a few people where it's like you set out the diet for them, and the diet's basic, but it does what it says on the tin, and then they complain because can I have a yogurt here or can I have this there? And it's like, yo, I'll be honest with you. Back in the day, I didn't see people like Ronnie Coleman or any Kevin Ravone and that eating yogurts and all of that stuff.
That's true, very true.
You know what I mean? So. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
But it is true. It's that complicated. Science is practicality, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's gone very science-based. I don't think there's a problem with that because you can put it in there. Yeah. You know, if you combine the two, it's fantastic. But then you got people, you've got to do perfect form every rep. You know, we had Matt Tofton on a few weeks back as the last episode, and he was talking about this new wave of progressive overload and all that.
Yeah.
And people sacrificing form for weight.
Yeah.
Just so they can progress 1 kilo in the logbook every week.
Yeah.
And he says, where's that going to get you?
Exactly.
So
that's the thing. You know, like when we train, me, Louis, James, when we train together, everything is precise. You may see, but we're using a lot of weight as well. Do you know what I mean? We're not trying to sacrifice form. I mean, if the weight is too heavy, then just lower it. It's not until you
take a few plates off.
And get the actual movement right.
Yeah. Make sure the muscles are in control of the weight, not the other way around, because then you do it for injury. Really. Yeah. And if the people want to know what we're talking about, they can check out the leg day video on Train by JP, and they'll understand what we're talking about.
Exactly.
You can't go wrong with that video.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, as well as being a PT and an online coach, what else do you do?
So, at the moment, we're working on building a brand. So, for myself, my friend owns a printing company, Solo Prints, and we've just been working on a few pieces, vests, t-shirts, stuff like that. Last night we was working until probably midnight or 1 a.m. just to try and finalize the logo and do all kind of things with it. But yeah, it's going well. Like I say, this top, made this last night.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I got another one here. See the HBG there on the back as well. See it?
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what I've been working on recently.
Where can
building a brand.
We'll check that out as well.
Yeah, just building a brand and trying to get my body back to how it was, and it's coming on quite well. Yeah. I mean, I'm a few weeks into my training, and hopefully by the time everything opens back up, I'll be where I need to be.
Yeah, you'll be in a good position to grow.
Exactly.
Well, we had good feedback as well on the questions from the listeners. Mm-hmm. So we got quite a large range of questions. So bear with me a second. Right, so we'll start off with a few from your best friend, Louie.
Yeah.
Right. So he's put, first of all, top 6 best open pros in your opinion.
Top 6 best open pros right now.
Didn't specify, so it's up to you.
So we're talking about right now.
Yeah, right now.
So obviously Hadi Chupan. He's I'm not sure about his place in the Olympia last time.
Difficult. It was apples and oranges, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he should have won, to be quite honest with you, condition-wise. Size.
He was by far the most conditioned guy on that stage.
Exactly. So, Hadi Chupan, William Bonac, Big Ramy once he pulls it all together.
Yep.
Who have I missed out? Obviously, Brandon looks really good. Brandon does look really good. I think he needs bigger legs, though. Yeah,
it's not even that his legs are small. It's just his quad development is not quite there.
Yeah.
He's got huge incisors and adductors and everything.
Yeah.
But just, I don't know. But he's never had impressive legs anyway, even before he blew up.
Yeah.
So it might be a bit of a genetic thing as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
But he's Mr. Olympia, so you can't really complain. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Who else? I'm trying to think. So how many was that?
3 more.
3 more? I thought I said 4.
All right. Okay. 2 more.
All right. 2 more. Who else? Oh man, I want to say Nathan. No, Nathan looks sick.
Yeah, he does. I think because he's long torsoed in certain poses, he looks fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because I remember him talking on a podcast talking about how he can't contract his hamstrings properly.
Yeah.
From the back, and it detracts from his back poses and stuff like that. But I think it's his structure as well. So some poses look mind blowing, and others are just a bit, still crazy in comparison to that.
Yeah. No, I respect his physique, man. He does look.
100%.
He has to be up there, and then how many more? I've got 1 more.
1 more.
all right, this one's gonna be controversial because he ain't made the top 6 or anything like that. But like, it's my boy, so I gotta I gotta put him up there because I know the work that he puts in. So that's gotta be James.
Right. Not doing
it. Louis ain't a pro yet. You know what I mean? Louis ain't a pro yet. So
but no, I agree. That's the thing. For me, it's like I met James at 2018 Body Power.
Yeah.
Because I used to listen to his podcast. He used to do with Banji and and I was like, this guy's not a genetic freak.
Mm-hmm. He's not.
He's as pale as me, right?
Yep.
Number one, and he's not. You know, he puts the fucking work in.
Listen.
So to me, that's like an aspirational figure. He's like, if he can do it, especially if you look at him as a junior as well, there's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, he's not walking around like Flex Lewis.
Nah. But listen.
Or something like that.
Right.
So, you know, to me, the work ethic goes above everything.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see him up there as well. Because I like his physique.
Yeah, honestly, like the work ethic and the drive of that guy is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be there, really a part of it to really understand. Like, he's not allowing anything to get in the way of his goals and dreams. And at first I was like, yo, taking this really serious. And now I look and it's something to aspire to. Do you know 100%. What I mean? It's just amazing. And honestly, never ever trained with anybody as strong in my life.
Yeah.
Or as flipping fit for the size of what he is.
Really?
Do you know he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro?
Yeah, I remember that. That was one of the first things I saw. I saw him really big, and then I thought, hang on, this motherfucker's climbing mountains as well.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Mate, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. And a great guy as well.
Yeah.
Great
we're going
guy.
to try and spoke to him before, and then we're going to try and get him on as well. So once we've had him on, we can get the Kingdom trio on and have all 3 of you on. So
that would be great, man.
Right, I'll carry on with the Louis Moylan theme because he wants to know, in your opinion, who's the best in the UK?
Who's the best in the UK?
I think you just answered that, didn't you?
Yeah, like it's obvious. Like, he's the best. Nathan's the best. Straight up, he's the best right now. You can't really argue with that.
He's won a lot of shows as well.
Yeah. But there's a few guys that I want to see get up there as well.
Me too.
What about Samson?
Yeah, Samson. You got Rob Taylor as well.
Yeah.
That's another workhorse right there.
Yeah, definitely. But
who else? Obviously, you know, he's a bit older, but it'll be nice to see Zach Khan back on stage as well.
Yeah. I was there when he came back and he done the British.
That was the thing. We all planned to go to the British last year because it was in Watford, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And obviously, we was planning to go this year, but since he got cancelled, hopefully it gets redone for a different day.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe head down and have a look. So, when's your next show going to be, in your mind?
My next show, to be honest with you, I want one this year. I want to do something towards the end of the year, let's say December, but it just depends on if I'm ready for that. And it depends on my coach, if he thinks I'm ready for that.
Who do you work with?
Well, this is the whole thing. I'm not working with anybody at the moment now, but I'm in talks with someone. And like, it looks like I'm going to be working with him. I wanted to try something different. So I don't want to say who it is, but he's he's one of the biggest. That's what I say. One of the best coaches out there. So
it shows you, well, if one of those big coaches is willing to work with you, then you're definitely well on your way.
Exactly, yeah.
Any other up and coming amateurs we should be looking out for?
Louis Moylan.
You knew it was him. You knew it was him.
Yeah, man. I mean,
so there's a theme on this show.
Yeah.
And it started with Louis, to be fair, and we've done it since now.
Yeah.
So if you could have any starter, main course, and dessert now, what would you have?
To be honest with you, the starter and the dessert don't really come into play.
Right, you can have 3 mains. There you go.
I'll tell you the main course, yeah. And because I'll be honest with you, at this present moment in time, I can't stand food. Yeah.
Okay.
I hate food. and all of them laugh at me. Like when we go out to eat, so we might go out, me, James, Louie, a few other people, and like they'll take the piss out of me, say like, how do you eat so little but just eat so much size? Because I don't eat as much, and I just eat slow. But my favorite thing is a greasy burger. It's gotta be
beef or chicken burger.
Beef.
Beef.
That's my main one.
So, right. Did you? I don't know if you watched the episode with Louie or not.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. Have you had a Wetherspoon burger?
Nah, I ain't.
They're all right.
Do you know what? Do you know why Louis laughed at that? Because because he is the man. Like, if you need to go for a burger in London, he will know like the best spot for burgers. Really? When he was prepping for his last show, I don't know why he was doing it because he must have been driving himself crazy. But I swear, it's like every day I would get a picture of a new burger and a new place, and he's like, "We're gonna eat here, bro. We're gonna eat here." We went to this place once. I can't even remember where it was, but it was like a massive food festival kind of thing. It was for James's birthday.
Okay.
And we went there, and mate, the burgers in there were absolutely, man. So burgers my main thing. I could eat burgers all day. Everything else, I'm all right.
Yeah. So a nice big greasy burger. Any sides or no?
Nah, just the fries. Just fries. Right. I like rosemary salted fries.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. Yeah.
Right, and this is a more in-depth one. So where do you see yourself and your business in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, IFBB Pro. The brand's doing well worldwide as opposed to just in the UK. And just hitting shows. I'll be honest with you, one of my goals I've set, I really want to compete in the Arnold Classic in England, the UK one. Yeah, as a pro. That's one of my goals. Obviously, it hasn't happened yet. They haven't had the show yet, but you know about it though, don't you? It's supposed to be something to do.
Yeah. Look at the back here, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. That's one of my goals. So 5 years, pro, business is doing well worldwide, and then on stage as a pro at the Arnold Classic
UK.
In the UK. Yeah,
it's going to be a big thing, I think that is as well.
Of course it is.
Because we discussed it. It was a while back. It was before I was in hospital, and because we had a world champion on for the UK DFBA. He's one of Jermaine's friends. Yeah, and he was talking because I think he got top 3 at the British in one of the federations, but he's going for a IFBB Pro Card in the next few years. Yeah, and so one of the questions was, if you could compete anywhere as a pro, where would it be? And he said the same thing as you. Yeah. And I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be a letdown for sure.
Nah, it's going to be great.
It'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
So, as we're approaching the end of this, we've had a bit of banter, had some questions. What is your current weight?
Current weight is embarrassing. Current weight is embarrassing. So I haven't weighed myself since the operation. Okay. Again, there's been days where obviously I couldn't really eat much because of the operation. Yeah. So for weeks I might have only been eating 1 meal a day. Then now I'm back up to 5 meals a day. My weight is ridiculous. I'm 110 kilos at the moment.
Okay. How tall are you?
5'10".
Oh, same as me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make me feel small now.
But 110 kilos for me, is like
more.
That's not even really that's doing nothing. Like not really eating. Do you know what I mean? Because normally, if you look at the pictures, when I'm at my peak at Kings and that, I'm like 120, 125. So yeah, so it's a big difference. It's like a 10 kilo difference. But I mean, to me, I know that I will gain back that 10 kilos.
Yeah, it'll come straight back on.
No time at all. I don't really find it hard to put on mass. Yeah.
When all the boxes are ticked, it just seems to go on. So
yeah.
So we've got a question. We had it for another guest. Well, they cancelled on us, the bastards. So we'll give it to you. The most underwhelming moment so far, whether it's meeting someone, or competing, etc.
Most underwhelming moment. Most underwhelming moment was my last show. To be quite honest with you, like a few days before, especially on the day before, I was just dropping kilos and kilos and kilos, literally by the hour. I'd get on the scales and my weight was just dropping. My first show I ever competed at, I was 98 kilos. No off season, no anything, just straight in. Let's do a show, 98 kilos. That last show that I done, I was like 96 kilos.
Crazy, isn't it?
A year's difference, and I started the prep at 125. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's like the last week, it was the last week, was just ridiculous, man. Like the amount of weight that was just dropping off of me, falling off of me. So I done the show, and like I got second call out. But the lineup was stacked. There was like 25 of us. Yeah,
was this the amateur Olympia?
Yeah. It was absolutely stacked. And I got second call out, and that was the most underwhelming moment. But I learned so much from that. Even backstage, I was talking to Samson, and he was explaining a few things to me, and everything just rung so true in my mind. And that's why I'm taking a different approach now to the next time I compete. Because to me, that was an absolute train wreck. That's why you never really see any pictures of that show. Yeah. I never really post any pictures of that show because it was an absolute train wreck. But you live and you learn. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
it's funny how prior to because you say you've always trained since a teenager.
Yeah.
Were you involved in any sports competitively or anything? Or no?
Nah.
You're the first one. You're the first guest.
Nah, just the gym, and obviously, like, I'll be honest with you, the gym kind of put me on the right path because I used to get into a lot of trouble when I was younger. So I was on the streets and that, getting up to all kind of silly stuff. So no sports, just gym. When I was younger,
it's having that discipline, isn't it? So
yeah, and that's it. That's the thing. Like for me, it's the discipline that I like more than everything. Just being able to focus and set goals, and that was my problem, I think, for the last couple of months while I was out. No, before that, I didn't really have any specific goals because all I was thinking is I need to get this operation done. I need to get this operation done, and once I get it done, then I can set goals. And that absolutely drove me crazy. But since I've had it done and I've sat down, I've been able to sit down and reevaluate things, set goals, and that's what keeps me focused.
It's been the one thing I'd say this lockdown has negatively impacted me is it's not being around those like-minded people that want to fucking succeed in your life.
Yeah.
Because obviously you got a lot of time by yourself, and once you get thinking in your own head, it only ends badly.
Yeah.
Because you haven't got that positivity to bounce off of and everything like that.
Exactly. That's the thing. If you surround yourself with people that got the same goals and mentality as you, then you'll succeed. But once you start hanging around other people that are not really into the same things as you, then it's not going to work out. Do you know what I mean?
You get dragged into shit that you don't want to be a part of, and all that.
Story of my life.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man.
Yeah.
But onwards and upwards, isn't it?
100%. Yeah.
So before we finish, is there anything you want to plug? Any sponsors, anything like that?
So I'm sponsored with 10X Athletic at the moment. Obviously, I've got my own clothing brand that soon will be up and running. It's HBG.
Anyone find out about that on Instagram or anything like that?
Not as yet. So on my page, I'll be posting a few things, but then I will be setting up his own page for itself for the clothing and go from there. Again, working with my guy Solo Prince, and he runs a printing company. So if anybody needs things doing, he works well at reasonable prices. You can hit him up as well at Solo Prince on Instagram. And yeah, that's it. That's all that we're working on now, is just building the brand. Can't just sit around and wait for other people to.
No, you're not waiting forever. So.
Exactly. So taking the initiative and moving forward with that.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone, it's been a blast. We're gonna get everybody back together again soon. Jermaine will be back. Simon will be back. Louie will be back. James will be on. We've got a good few episodes to look forward to next week as well. We're going to be having a roundtable discussion with AJ Morris, Christian Chapman, and Jack Thorburn, as well as an episode with Anth Bales, Cooper Chellin, and Dan McNabb. So you got all that shit to look forward to on our script website and on the YouTube channel. So if you enjoyed the episode, be sure to share it, like it. It will be on Instagram. It will be on YouTube. It will be on Podbean, I believe, and we're still trying to get to onto Spotify, but they haven't approved it yet. So we shall see what happens with that. Thank you once again, Simon, for coming on.
No problem, man. I enjoyed it, man.
And when the printing's up and running and the clothing's up and running, give me a shout and we'll share it out and support it. So
100%, bro.
All right, man.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, man. Have a good day.
No problem at all.
All right.
And you. All the best.
See you soon. All right. Bye.